Welcome to Smash Writing. To this week, we have a passionate Justin.
This is the kickoff of what I'm going to call why Paulie's no longer allowed to pick the movies we watch. Because it just goes downhill over the next 3 weeks. You're just in for it. Increasing bitter levels rising.
Today's review is the Netflix film
Valley of the Dead, or as it's known in Spain, I guess, and Malnazidos. Paul picked some of these movies, because I cannot pronounce any of their names. No offense, I can't pronounce these names.
So with this Valley of the Dead, here's the crazy thing. When I seen it pop up on Netflix, I think it came out like around the 11th. I thought of Justin because I'm like, oh, this is a zombie movie. This would be perfect for Justin to review. Since we were on like a season break here, I'm like, let's get back in the action with some films that Justin could be passionate about. I read the description.
You certainly went the wrong way with these last 3 movies.
I read the description and I'm like, this
what is one of my rules I tell everyone? Don't go off the description.
Wow. But needless to say, I had to give like, this could catch him. So, I was like, let's review it. Had I known that this was...
This is the better of the 3. That's the problem. This is the best of the 3 we're going to be reviewing.
Here's the crazy thing. The third movie that you're talking about, well, technically it would be 4 movies because you didn't enjoy Wrong Turn either.
No, it's this one, Requiem, and Wrong Turn.
Okay. So Gray Man, because you couldn't even finish it.
Well, yeah, I guess you can count Gray Man.
So,
I'm not as bitter over Gray Man as I am over the other one.
You just didn't
I understood why Gray Man was here.
Okay. So, Valley of the Dead. A quick plot rundown was basically, it takes place in 1938 during the Spanish Civil War against the Republican in the Flashionists, or whatever they were called. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing right.
Fascists? No, that's not the name of the group. That's just what they were calling them.
No, there was another, the proper name
Rebels.
was there.
Just Rebels versus the Republic.
Okay, we can just go with that.
And I guess the Republic aligned with the Nazis.
Yep.
Who laid down chemicals and turned the dead into the Walking Dead.
Nazis randomly showed up to a random small village that was celebrating a wedding. And this is how this movie kicks off. And, you know, the kid gives him, I guess, like a sip of alcohol, and he, like, catches the leader off guard because he didn't think it was vodka or whatever. So they just light him up. They just kill everybody.
Yeah.
Now, that was like fine. Okay, then they throw the chemical warfare stuff, and it brings them back as zombies. So we know how this zombie thing is going to how it started. Then we jump to where we meet the main character, who and we didn't really know his name because they kept referring to him, I swear, as the captain.
Well, he was captain of. That was his title.
Yeah,
captain.
So that's what you just called him. So, but he's in a line of fire, and his uncle comes to save the day and says, you know, I'm sparing your life again, but I'm giving you a mission. I guess the mission is to go to this other side of the country to get information and bring it back to them.
And he was taking a letter.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
He was sent out with the child to cruise.
Yep.
And they get picked off by the rebels. And they immediately... Well, they go off to try to save the fighter pilot that crashed. And they get picked off by the rebels.
Yep. And
the fighter pilot came back as a zombie, bit the one guy, and they killed him, and they took him back to the base, and the zombies were there. They merrily escape, and... Nazi zombies. This person... The people behind this movie grew up playing Call of Duty Zombies. And they wanted to make a movie. Don't get me wrong, Call of Duty Zombies, fun game to be playing when you're drinking. Oh, God, this movie, though. This was rough.
There was no drinking involved with watching the movie.
It was very much, all throughout it was one side believes in God and the other side doesn't, so they just yell at each other.
Yeah, I mean they crack jokes even though it's a small group of them that got a band together to fight the zombies.
Of course they don't. You got a traitor in the mix.
Yep, and he gives the information that was needed to recover and all of that. And he, they're still thinking like, hey, even both sides are like, we could make, the other side that didn't know about the zombie thing was like, well, we can take this idea and take them and make the zombies our fighters and we can win the war.
So I was probably the only one irritated that when the Russian died and he was on the fence and they shoot him and the one's like, well, he may have been the enemy, but and she does the Holy Ghost. It's like, fuck you.
Broski.
You know he wouldn't have wanted that. You did it for yourself, you selfish bitch. Fuck off.
That is very much true. You're just like...
But it could just be my pretenses mixing in here. Because you know how little I care for religion.
That is true. That is true. He still hates me for making him part of my wedding.
Yeah, a Catholic wedding. You dragged me to a Catholic wedding.
So, basically, it ends, they fight them on a train and they explode the zombies, killing the threat. And everybody goes their own ways because there's still a civil war. We also learned that the captain, John, it's tough on him. John. Because his brother is on the other side of the fight, and he's always worried about he's going to get that call and how does he feel. I mean, that's what a civil war is. They always nickname it brother versus brother because if your belief's different, that's how it plays out.
Honestly, I kind of zoned out during this movie. I don't actually remember much. It was fine. It's fine. It's a zombie movie,
Yeah.
You expect me to care about this movie? It didn't happen.
Well, like I said, I did not know. I knew it after I read it and watched it, and I went back and I seen it was like Spanish film.
I was a little disappointed. We had a character named Priest Killer, and she doesn't kill any priests.
Yeah, you learned that it was just a fake name for her.
The priest was doing stuff to her sister or something. Like she hinted at it when he showed her the picture.
Okay.
And it sounds like she didn't kill him, but she beat his ass.
But it was also...
We could have used some priest killing in this movie. I think that would have been fun.
It would have made it a fun ride. I think probably the highlight of this film was probably the opening scene with the wedding and just shooting them.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't fully expecting it to go as brutal as it went because, there's the kids there. The kid gives them some vodka, and they all giggle when he, I didn't want vodka. And then he just, basically tells them to light them up, and they just go rampage on it.
The fight in the train yard was fun, I guess.
The captain getting his hand chopped off to save him from... That was a good part, because he tells the priest killer, he's going to keep reminding her that she chopped off his hand, despite it saving his life. So, you were making a joke about this, and it caught me off guard too, how the voices...
Yeah.
Your side of it was...
I thought it was lagging.
Yeah.
But, I'm not going to throw shade at it for that. It's a foreign film.
Yeah.
Sometimes the audio is going to be off. It's not as outrageous as I've seen some movies be.
But instead it wasn't really off, it was just...
Not quite synced, yeah.
Yeah. For me, that it was a running joke with me is because it does seem like the Spanish actors were putting on a serious role, but the American voiceovers were trying to convert it into a comedy.
I don't know. This movie was just kind of here.
Just like his face looked like he was serious, but then the voice was making a joke. I'm not saying that was all
the American voice actors probably didn't portray the amount of emotion that the movie
they were making it
originally.
funny and yeah, some of it is portrayed as comedy, but it just seems like certain scenes were off on emotions and voiceovers. And yeah, it was a zombie movie. It was a Spanish zombie movie.
Well, I give them credit. They ended with quite a few of them living. At the end, you normally don't see that in a zombie movie. You're lucky to get one out alive, let alone quite a few.
Yeah, most of the group.
Yeah, most of them might not have survived, but they did.
The child
No,
virgin dies.
The child one dies.
That character.
Mecha dies. I think or does he just speed away from them in the tunnels?
I think he speeds away in the tunnels. The child virgin was another character that was somewhat entertaining because like they made up different stories because he was young, but then when he dies, and I guess the chemical that was used to make them zombies, I guess, or was he bitten at some point?
He's bitten.
Okay, and then he just realized
When he stole the truck and drove it up to him,
okay,
he gets bitten in that scene. That doesn't show it on.
okay, because
There's a subtle hint of it when he picks him up.
'Cause I was
Out
confused.
the window and you see the blood coming down the side of it.
Okay, because I was confused for a moment because when they, at the ending of the film and he's going down there and they shoot him up and then he comes back as a zombie,
Yeah.
I was like, wait, because it's, I thought you had to be dead or bitten. I'm like, well, if
When he stole the truck, you'll see it. Like there's a pull away, not really quite a pull away, but there's a far shot of his hand sitting outside the window. He's hiding his hand, and blood is coming down the side of his arm.
okay, I gotcha. The movie was like, I think like about 89, 90 minutes long, an hour and a half. The pace was fine. I mean, it shot through it because honestly, it was tough to follow in some sense of the voiceover. It's not really the plot. The plot was simple. One side was with the Nazis.
No, I don't think one side with the Nazis. I think the one side may just brought in a Nazi.
And then, the Nazi had his...
I'm not sure. They could have been with the Nazis.
Yeah, I mean, 1938 was, Nazi power in Europe and all of that. But, rating this film.
I'm going to see.
I'm
But
going
it's an A compared to what comes next. Compared to the next few movies, this is high goddamn art.
I'm giving it a C too.
It's fine.
It was fine. It was average. Even for a Spanish film, the voiceovers made it a little goofy, sure, whatever. But it's not the worst zombie movie. It's not the greatest zombie movie. It's there. It's average. It's C.
Yeah.
If you got time to give it a watch. But until next week when Justin gets vicious.
Just has a fucking seizure on camera.
Until next time, bye-bye.